I'm just waiting for people to show up. And here I'm getting harassed by Juggler Irwin. Looks like there's 2 people in already. Who are they? What do they want from me? Okay, so if you're just tuning in, this is part 6 of my Pokemon Gold playthrough. I'm playing on authentic hardware. Normally I've been doing this on my Super Game Boy. Today I'm doing it on the Game Boy Player. This is my childhood copy that's been repaired so it can save. But like all Generation 2 Pokemon games, these are ticking time bombs. These batteries are always on. And my goal is to complete the game with an adult perspective, which outside emulation I hadn't been able to do. So that's why we're doing this here. That and people like the Generation 2 games. It's another part of it. So where I last left off, I think I was about 5 badges in, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. And next I could fight Price, the ice guy. But I'm going to take some steps to battle Jasmine. Or rather, I'm going to take care of the tasks I need to do in order to fight Jasmine in her gym. I'm going to try to level up a little bit to try to make my Eevee and Umbreon as part of tonight's goals. It seems likely because I've consistently been playing at night. But here's my team at the moment. We got ourselves Kadabra, very cheeky Kadabra, Wheelgator, Eevee, which we're trying to make an Umbreon here, Lapras, Jazzy Sudowoodo, and Ampharos. Bradley is in. Hello, Bradley. Isn't that Bill's Eevee? Not anymore, it's not. It don't belong to him no more. Now I'm gonna fight a man with more class than me, Alfred Pennyworth. Well, it looks like we're having some issues with the bandwidth here. It's looking a little... Okay. It looks like we're having some issues with the way the picture is encoding with the screen and transitions. I think that's because I'm playing on Game Boy Player, and for some reason, Game Boy Player's output it seems to be a little bit more intensive than Super Nintendo. Which, I mean, that really shouldn't surprise me, but hopefully the game is looking alright. I'm looking at the preview. It looks a little bit choppy. It looks like it's slow by a few frames. He's using Foresight. That's not going to do you much good against a Kadabra. Gonna have to fight back against me. Let me see. Who am I trying to level up here? Let me look at my hold items. Stats. Mystic Water. Quick Claw. It's for Lapras. Ampharos has experience, sure. I guess I'll lead off with Lapras. I give Lapras a quick claw because Lapras is pretty slow. And that's my way of compensating for its weakness. As we've explained in the past, it's just the games gave... These games added much more strategy to the... what Generation 1 established. We got another person in the chat. Hopefully they'll say hi. But frankly, this part of the game isn't terribly interesting to me. It's just a lot of battles. We're going to be... The attack plan for tonight, if anybody wasn't here earlier, Lighthouse, then Price, then Jasmine, and I will probably stop at the radio tower. I'm frankly not a huge fan of the radio tower portion of this game. I don't know why. I've always just thought it was kind of slow. But I mean, we have to do it in order to get through to the other side of Johto. So this part just has kind of a more of an obligatory feeling to it. But I'll try to get experience where I need it. As long as my team is in the mid-30s, I should be fine. For the Elite Four, if your team is in the mid-30s and it's nice and balanced, and if you have some good items for you should be very well equipped to deal with the Elite Four. Just that 97 experience is not a whole lot. These bird keeper guys have got to deal with a lot of poke shit. It sounds great. It does kind of remind me when Nick was asking, I think it was the previous stream, about what are our Pokemon in relationship to real world animals. So, okay, there's Pokemon who resemble birds, but what are birds in the world of Pokemon? Are birds just Pidgeys and Spearows, Hoothoots and Noctowls, and Talonflames, Zapdos, Articuno? Are those the only birds? That's what I want to know. That's the question. It's all very curious. I remember that one of the Pokedex entries, I think it's in Fire Red, which is based on the original Japanese text of one of the games. I think it might have been Pokemon Red and Green, the original Game Boy games. It says that Ghastly can kill an Indian elephant, which is pretty cool, pretty hardcore. But is that for us, the audience, or do Indian elephants exist in the Pokemon world? Does India exist in the Pokemon world? It makes you wonder. I wonder what a bunch of supposed gentlemen are doing in a light tower. A lighthouse. Pardon me. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I just don't associate lighthouses with anything stereotypically gentlemanly. Should they be at a gentleman's club? I guess it's a little too edgy for Pokemon. Bradley and our contributor, the Judgment Meter, had a video about Pokemon Gold and Silver sprites, and there's a line that me and a few of my friends think is kind of funny. She says something about Growlithe being a yappy puppy. I still find it amusing. Now I just move the plot forward a little bit. But I guess part of the reason why this section is kind of obligatory, I mean, you can play these parts in any order. I think it was intended to do this part slightly earlier, but the trainers just don't really feel like much of a challenge. I just outclass them in terms of level and in terms of type advantage. Bradley says Old Spice is for gentlemen, and Old Spice's logo is a lighthouse. There's something to sit on. Kind of like how my Lapras is sitting on a crab. Stellar Kent was defeated. I need to experiment with Game Boy memory cards a little bit more, but I am going to try. I think that Swagger, an attack that I really don't like, I'm probably going to sell it. I would really like to possibly do a run of Pokemon Crystal before I move to Pokemon Generation 3. Having good results with Game Boy games. The only problem is that I can only save one game at a time with my Game Boy memory card. He is Sailor Kent Brockman. This is, of course, before we had the TV interviewer class from Pokemon Generation 3. In stream, I plan to do the Generation 1, 2, and 3 games. After that, it just becomes way too hard to broadcast them. There's not a very convenient way to play Pokemon Generation 4. If there was, I'd like to do it. It just doesn't seem very feasible at the moment. If anybody out there, because there's 3 or 4 of you, knows any decent ways to broadcast DS games, let me know. Please let me know. I'm learning things every day. What we got here? Rare candy. That's useful. I think I'm on the wrong floor. Hopefully my levels are okay in terms of audio. There's a few points where there's a little bit of peaking, which is surprising me a little bit. I'm not sure why the game audio is peaking a few times. But my voice levels does seem consistent. I'm running out of Body Slam. Those bubbles will do Meryl no good. Anybody else think when they were younger that Meryl's tail looks like a computer mouse cursor? If you look at the... Bradley says that he cannot hear the game audio. Wow. How about there? Is that better? Yeah, let me know if that's better. It's very faint. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Last broadcast. During the last. A little bit too loud here. There's no will left to fight. The delay of the chat is bad since it was perfect and then you raised it really high. I'm not sure what you're saying here. Pop out chat. participants. Really, I don't understand what you mean. The bubbles don't really do anything. Alright, hopefully we're caught up a little bit more here. Hopefully we're okay now. God damn, why are we having issues with bandwidth tonight? Thought I nipped that problem in the bud. But really, what does that mean? I mean, my other hypothesis is that maybe my microphone is a little bit too loud. Because by just faintly looking at the chat, I think I'm picking up a little bit of regression here. I mean that some things in my headphones are getting picked up in my microphone, and then they're getting picked up in the headphones, and it's causing an infinite feedback loop. Because I'm hearing me in a time warp. I should probably invest in noise-canceling headphones. Maybe the same Sennheiser model that I've been using since 2006. Maybe it's not cutting the mustard anymore. I feel like punching you with fire. Yeah, I love that side beam animation. Machop takes the L. I wonder if somebody here will get that reference. I'm being harassed on my cell phone in a lighthouse. Will they get reception there? Anyway, Bradley, hopefully that's decent. I hate tinkering with this stuff. And really just want to get on with the game. If I'm audible, if I'm mildly comprehensible, then I'm okay with that. So at the top 4, we got this really nice, cozy little suite here. Palu Palu. Its breathing is terribly labored. This Pokemon is yeah, fine, I'll do it. So Ampharos' cry is Palu Palu. So we take the shortcut downstairs, and then I'm going to fly across the sea on my... So as I've experimented with in my previous chat with the Game Shark showcase, I wonder how much going out of bounds can affect this game. Because there's just certain points where if you go beyond where the map data exists in red and blue, the game just crashes. Normally you can see these parts, but you're not supposed to access them. The game really doesn't know how to handle accessing these points. I wonder how it works in Gold and Silver. The only time I've ever really experimented with it is in Violet City. That was a while ago. I think this is the secret pharmacy. No, it's not. It's the secret photo shop. Here's the pharmacy, I think. Yeah. I think they should do a better job advertising it. I know it's like a head shop, really, but still, is something worrying you, my son? Gonna get 2 revives. While I got my flyer here, I am actually, because that'll make it happier, edge when it becomes an Umbreon. Really try and make sure it evolves before level 36. That reminds me. Let's sell Swagger. I don't like that move at all. I didn't mean to buy that. I just press buttons. Okay. Time to get out of here. Yeah, so Bradley, if you're still there, hopefully this is decent, these levels that I have here. Buy protein. Bills. Okay, in time to fly to. Actually, no. Wait, I'm gonna go to the table name. I heard that name used when I was like a nice lady. It looks sort of happy. I need it to look happier. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and make sure that I'm gonna administer to the potion to Jasmine's Ampharos. But my next battle will be against Price. Jeez, I'm seeing some bottlenecking issues going on. Need it close. There, hopefully that's better. No, it doesn't look like it. Try refreshing it. Bradley says you just keep cutting and lagging. You teleported from the lady in Goldenrod to outside the lighthouse. That sounds strange. I'm just looking at here. It looks like the stream health is just going all over the place. Okay. It's looking a little bit more stable here. Okay, so Ampharos is happy. Jasmine's happy. I will fight her later, not now. That Steelix is just a little bit too aggressive for me. Flirty. So, we're gonna fight Price instead. And by we, I mean me. So, what Pokemon could I use to fight Price? Put Hoodoo away for now. And then, let's see. Psyduck, Pinsir. I'm not sure if Sudowoodo has a type advantage over Price. I'll go with Victor. Everyone's favorite Russian Gyarados. Alright, this is the first sliding ice puzzle in the game. Comes up a little bit during this part. Some people find this pretty difficult. Yeah, it's looking a little bit more stable on my end too. Switch. Here's what they think about you. Oh yeah, I forgot to heal. Oh, I still think Lapras can take him on. It's not very effective. Yeah, rub it in what? Furrows, gain experience. Furrows good at level 33, very good, very good. I think I'll send out for Alligator. For Alligator could use a little experience. Sorry, I mean Croconaw. The bite attack was originally normal type in Pokemon Generation 1 because dark type did not exist. And it's just a nice way that this game brought a little bit more balance to the series. Bite gives an advantage over Psychic, who were criminally overpowered in the first generation. Not that this game's metagame was not without issues, because that was very stall heavy. Very, very stall heavy. I love this game a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's not without some issues. But it's a very good step forward for the series. No mistaking that. Go to sleep. I just think it's very cheeky to fall asleep in the middle of a battle. Yeah, Rage doesn't seem to be very effective. We'll see what Surf. Nah, Surf isn't going to work. I guess we'll try Gyarados. See, it would be funny if what he did was yawn when it woke up. But yawn did not exist yet. I find yawn to be a very obnoxious attack. They just thrash him. Thrash, Pedal Dance, Outrage, same move really. Good finishing move too. Man, sure, Gyarados would be confused, but what does it matter? I basically won. I did win. There's no basically to it, I did win. Let's go heal. I have no power points. PP. Both terms sound very stupid. Lapras can't body slam people the way I want it to. Really, I should be saying the way I want her to. So if there's anything on anybody's mind, it's been a pretty quiet chat tonight. Just only Bradley and myself monopolizing everything. This guy, Border Brad. Possibly a cousin. And you know I'm not talking about Sailor Moon. I find the Border class I'm using, I find it one of those lesser trainer classes. And I don't want to be mean, but it's one of those classes that never seems to come up much. Actually, I don't think Borders exist outside of this gym, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Bradley says, I wish my in-game persona was something more accomplished than a boarder. What's wrong with being a boarder? To get to our gym leader price, you need to think. I didn't hear that voice. Really, I'm not skating. I'm sliding. Now, this lady is the subject of a Police song. I'm not sure if this is when Jinx officially became purple, or if that's just a limited color Game Boy thingamabob. I didn't mean to send out Ampharos, but hopefully Ampharos will kick some Heine. I think Jinx is a pretty freaky Pokemon, but I always like Smoochum. I think Smoochum's cute. In fact, maybe I might catch a Jinx and breed it with my Kadabra. Make room for Perish Song. Let's see. Temporary replace it with Sing, but only as a last resort move. Unfortunately, Sing just has really crappy accuracy. Jinx became purple in Generation 2 since Smoochum was designed to be purple since its evolution was now canonically purple. There's one theory. I know Price's secret. That's a little creepy. Border Douglas. You know, just saying I know Price's secret is very classic, cryptic game dialogue, wouldn't you say? Sometimes the writing in a lot of older RPGs, it can come off as very cryptic. But then other times, the writing in the Pokemon games can be very humorous. Cloister. Hopefully we're not getting a whole lot of regression from the background. There's excuse me, there's some noises picking up from the family room. Hopefully they're not picking up. I don't want them to pick up. Secret behind Price's power: waterfall daily to strengthen his mind and body. Just like that one guy from Sailor Moon. Check out my parallel turn. But can you parallel park? Skier Clarissa. I wonder if Kadabra can learn any fire moves when they split physical and special moves in Generation 4. I honestly don't remember as much time as I spent playing those games. I think because Dugong's part water type, that ultimately does neutral damage. Trying to learn Recover. Can I replace with Recover? Flash. Can't replace Flash. Ultimately, I don't see a whole lot of point in Recover. I'll stop learning it. You made me wipe out! Okay. I think that's everybody in the gym. So now it's time to take out the boss. And then the solution should be a very simple... No, that's not that. So how do we get there? There we go. Hey! I find it amusing that they just stand there the whole time. He doesn't even turn his head. Or I'm skating all around him and he's stationary there. I'm confident that my team can take him down. I don't see why they couldn't. Let's take a gander here. Let's see Eevee's experience. The trick is to level up Eevee strategically so that it gets the happiness that it needs. I do not lose easily. We'll see about that. In the manga, Price is part of Team Rocket. That makes him a bad guy. But the games, I don't think he's that sinister. If he was that sinister, I'd be extremely disappointed in him. I'm very disappointed in you, Colonel. This is Speed Fellow. That mildly stinks, but let's give him a bit of a thrashing. T is Dugong. Switch out to Eevee. I'm really surprised Grant isn't here. Yes. Oh wait, I can't continue the thrash. But that bypasses the... What's the word? The drawbacks of thrash. Yeah, I just think it's very disrespectful to fall asleep in the middle of a battle like that. Apparently in the Generation 2 metagame, there's a moveset called Rest Talking. Something, very nerdy terminology I don't really care much for, where you intentionally put yourself to sleep and use sleep talk. Hurt itself in confusion. Well, that's not desirable. Yeah, Rest Talking was a very common meta strategy in Generation 2, apparently. But Price forgot to teach his Dugong Sleep Talk. Let's see. Bradley says, I always thought the Seal on his team should be something with more variation. For whatever reason, I picture Price using a Jinx. Don't ask me why. And we got Piloswine, a hint of things to come. Because you run into Swinubs in the ice cave. Bradley says, I always found it weird that Rest was classified as a psychic type move. But yeah, in order to sleep, you gotta have psychic powers. It's just common sense. Most normal people don't sleep. Ever. Bradley says, Piloswine fits him well since it looks like a grumpy old man. Just about as much as you could personify a grumpy old man Pokemon back in those more innocent days of 1999. Alright, I have a finishing move in mind. It'll either be Fire Punch, Thrash, or Dragon Rage. We'll see where this goes. Blizzard. Blizzard has really bad accuracy here. I generally prefer Ice Beam. I think Blizzard was a lot better in Generation 1. You better believe it's... Oh. Now it's time for me to eat my words. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's it for Kadabra. But we got Gyarados with Dragon Rage. So I'm not the least bit worried. I also expected that. Still not terribly concerned. Ooh, I hope that's not a KO. Bradley says, it looks like the one dog from the episode of Sailor Moon when Mercury compares him to her math teacher and Jupiter compares her to her ex-boyfriend, only hunkier. The Deke dub, of course. You're going to have to point out what episode that is to me. This is all news to me. Okay, when this battle is over, I am going to chuck on my laundry. And there we go. Your strong will, I know you will overcome all life's obstacles. Ah, shucks. And I'm worthy of the badge, too. Good, good. Gold received the Glacier Badge. Really cool name for a badge, in my opinion. I don't really care for the designs of the badges after Generation 2. Now I can use Whirlpool, as crappy as that attack is, and I get Icy Wind. That will go to Gyarados. Demonstrates the harshness of winter. Very philosophical. Extremely philosophical. And now I'm ready to not ever go in here ever again. So if I'm correct, after this battle, Professor Elm calls us and goes, "Oh my God, Gold, it's terrible. There's a pirate radio station, and we gotta take back the tower." You have the clip, but you can't post links. That's what Facebook's for, man. Delete an older move to make way for Icy Wind. There. Alright, I'm gonna go step out of the room for a moment, and I'm probably gonna get a really obnoxious phone call. In-game, that is. Alright, no. Oh, no, okay. I guess he calls after he beat Jasmine, then. Alright, I still need to check on that laundry, so here's a brief. Okay. and I'm back, but I'll read the obvious. After commercial break, I'm reading the before commercial break message, so it's like a bad telefeed. Don't touch that Totodile, because AT and the software agency, it's funny because it's just me tonight, will be right back after this break, sponsored by his laundry ready to be taken out of the... Do you have cameras installed in my apartment? How did you know it was going to be the dryer? I didn't say dryer. I didn't actually mutter anything there. That was just cartoon muttering, by the way. So I'm gonna go to Olivine City. I'm gonna take the scenic route, though, so we can explore the majestic Johto mountainscape. Also, I'll take a pit stop in Goldenrod to see if how Eevee's happiness is doing. I wish you could just see the darn value. But I think I'm on the right track. A battle with a gym leader will increase your happiness. I am trying to get it to a certain point, though. I need it to become Umbreon below, I think it's 36. I could be mistaken. Otherwise, it won't learn Feint Attack. Which, I mean, that if it doesn't have Feint Attack, it defeats the purpose of it becoming an Eevee. Then I have to breed another one. Not very efficient. Giving items to hold also increases happiness. I'm not sure about that. I know that the X attack items are good for it. Here's a little foreshadowing for you. It looks sort of happy. Again, not the answer I want to hear. I mean, I guess I could give Eevee the Goldberry. Oh, wait, let's... Can't learn Thief? Oh, that's dumb. I don't think it can learn Shadow Ball either. Oh, it can, okay. Yeah, I was gonna save Shadow Ball for Umbreon. Teaching TMs increases happiness. Off the top of my head, walking, making sure that they don't faint in battle, the haircuts, grooming, TMs, in-battle items, all increase happiness. You just need to constantly keep them in their party and make sure they don't faint. So what could be forgotten? Tail Whip is kind of stinky, so we'll get rid of it. And learn Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's cool. And I know I don't get same type attack bonus, but the hell with that. My Voltorb's really energetic. I imagine it's a handful. You're dealing with essentially a living bomb, more or less. Actually, since he's a juggler, he has like 4 or 5 of them. So, wait a moment. I was going to give Eevee the Goldberry. There we go. Alright, so next step is to heal and battle Jasmine. Which, this is, besides Claire, probably the toughest gym battle in this portion of the game. Mostly because I don't really have a fire Pokemon. My only real fire attack is Fire Punch from Kadabra, of all people. I just taught it that for a little bit of type coverage. But I don't have an Entei. Anytime I try to catch Growlithe, the cheeky little puppy just runs away. Well, it does roar, but you get the idea. You get the idea. So no Cyndaquil, no Entei. I could get Ho-Oh later. I will most likely be getting Ho-Oh later for this run to be my firefighter. And I'm not talking about putting out fires. Actually, Bradley, if you're talking about the Versus books guidebook, I probably have that laying around here somewhere. Because I have a lot of my old Nintendo Powers and Player's Guides. After a while, Player's Guides got really shitty. The one for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I mean, they sold that in 2 volumes, for God's sake. Jeez. What I really like about those old books and the Nintendo Power stuff is the maps. Those are very helpful for RPGs. The Pokemon books were extremely handy because they do a good job explaining things that, in my opinion, the game doesn't do a good job explaining. And there's just things in the Pokemon games. This would only get worse over time. That you have no way of figuring it out on your own. It's not. I don't. If you say you figured it out on your own, I don't believe you. If anybody said they figured out the Braille puzzle in Generation 3, I don't believe them. You're lying. You're a darn liar. I actually know one person who had the audacity to say that they did that. That person's a fucking liar. Okay, gonna face Jasmine now. Now, this little lady's got 2 big magnets and a big angry snake made of metal. My team is just about as ready as it's ever gonna be. I think I have all my items. I mean, I might need a revive here. Let's see. Revive. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Thanks for the help, but I'm not going to go easy on you. Do you know about the steel type? It's a type that was only recently discovered. A line that they would later regret, because in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that line does not exist. It's only recently discovered to the players. Wild Magnemites that you run into in this game have a subroutine programmed into them that says that they're going to flee a certain percentage of the time. I think it's somewhere between 10 and 50%. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. This game started that trend. I also think these games were the last Pokemon games to have that trend, barring aside roaming Pokemon. And we were all the happier for it. Time to deal with another Magnemite. I expect Kadabra to fall, but I will revive him for Steelix. I was just mostly worried about this electrical weakness, because I got 3 water Pokemon. I probably should have brought Execute to the fight. Or maybe Drowsy. Drowsy is pretty high leveled by now, I think. Didn't affect me. Okay, now it did. Sorry if I'm chewing too loud. Confusion and paralysis stinks. Yeah, this is not good. Let's see what Gyarados can take. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom. That only does 20 damage. I'm more concerned about Thunderbolt. I probably should end Dragon Rage, but whatever. About to use Steelix. Iron Tail, let's see how much damage that does. Not very effective, but defense fell. Alright. I think Ice Punch does neutral damage because, oh. Damn. That was brutal. Damn. I think Ice Punch does neutral damage because, the ground part, I think, would be weak against the... Let's see, fight your way out of this. Actually, I think Nessie might be in a little bit of trouble, but we'll see where this goes. Because of that steel weakness. Why did you use Screech? That wasn't very smart. Now you're paralyzed. Oh, this could be ugly. He kept holding on. Confused. Hurt itself in confusion. The random numbers are on my side. I feel a certain degree of guilt letting my Lapras be the sacrificial lamb like this, but let's see if it can survive the next attack. Hurt itself in its confusion, and that's Jasmine. Jasmine was defeated. But at what cost? Confer on to me a badge, alright. Got the mineral badge. Raises Pokemon's defense. Please take this too. Alright, I forget who I'm going to teach Iron Tail. I think it was Gyarados I was going to teach Iron Tail to. Okay, now is when the crisis happens. I called because something weird is happening with the radio broadcasts. Do you know anything about it? No, that just can't be true. See, that's dumb. Because our protagonist has faced Team Rocket a few times in this game. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let him talk, so he's in a little bit of a pickle. All right, let's do some healing first. Come on, center. I'm surprised I haven't run into the legendary beast yet. My plan was to either try to finish the game with Entei or Ho-Oh as my main fire Pokemon. But I haven't just, I guess the RNG for the beast hasn't been in my favor. See, that would be really cool if I ran into one of the beasts, but I didn't. Miltank, I like Miltank, but you're not part of my plan for this, so I'm just gonna finish you off. And just heads up, this will probably go on for another 40 minutes. I think where I'll stop is when I conquer the radio tower. That's when you do the underground path. It's either the underground path and the radio tower. I'll probably only do half of it. It's one of my. I'm not sure. I just don't find this part of the game very interesting. It's not terribly difficult or anything. You know I'm gonna battle this guy. It's Bradley's battle buddy. Let's see how well he's leveled up. Ooh, level 6. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if riding on the bicycle counts as walking steps here. I'm not sure if it counts as that. I guess it does, because your eggs will hatch when you ride a bike. Yeah, there's just nothing to this. But I'll get a little bit of money off of it. We should do some kind of Pokemon Generation 2 tournament and try to back up the cartridges on these Game Boy memory cards or something. That would be fun. I'm getting a call from the mom. She's gonna spend my money. Got the adorable doll. I don't mind. I really don't mind. She never spends... The few times she spends money, she never spends a whole lot. You never have to worry much about that. The amount she spends is negligible. But Team Rocket taking out over Goldenrod, this is not good. I can't even check my Pokemon's tameness because of these assholes. Jerks. Bill can't even go back to his house. Or if that's his rest home, I'm not sure. The point I'm trying to make is these guys suck, but they know when to stop, because at least I can go shopping. And go to the Pokemon hospital. So they're jerks, but they have their limits. That's what it seems to be. Packed. There we go. Getting a nice meaty Eevee. If that sounded creepy, I don't apologize. Hopefully my sound levels are okay, guys. I'm always, not always, I'm usually mildly concerned about it. I'm gonna give Gyarados a quick little break. We'll use Drowsy. Let's see how Drowsy fares. Just want to try to keep the teams interesting. So, deposit Gyarados. See how Drowsy's doing. Daycare lady, don't raise anything for me yet. Are we geniuses or what? Want to see you, Drowsy? Yes. It's level 19. Not level 19. It's went up 19 levels. 31, damn. Let's see. White nose. Disable confusion, headbutt, and poison gas. Poison gas is like a crappier version of poison powder, which is a crappier version of toxic. So what could I replace with poison gas? Heck, as much as you guys make fun of Flash, I would rather teach you Flash than poison gas. That's how unreliable poison gas is. Cold. Hey, just look at those badges. I think the designs are all really cool. Let's check Drowsy's stats. That was a little too fast. One more time. A little slower. And then attack. Its attack is actually higher than special attack. Well, I'll teach it strength. Hopefully he can learn strength. Not able to. I wonder if Hypno can learn strength. How much does it need to level up? It's none of your business. Actually, it is my business. You are affecting my journey. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think the spooky Team Rocket music's playing. Let me turn up the volume here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's sneaky, sinister Team Rocket music. Drowsy's not a Pokemon I use very often, so I find its back spray to be a little creepy. Just find it to be kind of a sneaky Pokemon overall. Hopefully Fire Punch will finish it off. See, the conundrum with Kadabra is that Kadabra has very poor physical defense. So even something as seemingly, what's the word? As innocuous as Eradicate could cause some trouble. As you can see there with that Hyper Fan taking out 2/3 of its health, for crying out loud. Ooh. There we go. And then quick attack should finish it off. Trying to learn Bite. And Bite I will replace with Tackle, because Tackle is kind of stinky. Too strong. We. What does it say? Let me catch the replay. What is this goofball saying? Too strong. We must watch. Too strong. We must watch you. Wouldn't it be funny if this lady was a rocket in disguise? Why would they want to take over the radio tower? To launch their own pirate radio show. And why did they have a Jigglypuff there? Haha. It was far too easy to take over this place. Come on, keep me amused. Yeah. That's the ladies are hitting on me today. I'm not just talking about the game. Yeah, I think the problem with Drowsy, part of the reason why I've never really used Drowsy that much, I think Drowsy is just really slow in general. Let's see. 37 speed. Let's compare it to Kadabra. .37 compared to 68, and Kadabra is weaker than Drowsy. What? Who are you? We're Star Fox. Somebody joined in. Please don't be shy if you're new. Yeah, sent out. Now we're going up against the less intimidating members, I think. Hopefully this thing doesn't know Hyper Fang. Let's use red. See there, for some reason, Hyper Fang didn't do much damage. In some of my other experiences, that attack can be deadly. Let's play around with themes. Just to make sure you guys are still awake. Bradley says, this is the most annoying Team Rocket member. Face my rants. That's a very odd thing to say. Yeah. This seems very Game Boy-like and very, it almost seems Kirby-esque. But it also seems kind of intrusive. I think this one looks funny. Yeah, there's a reason why I stuck with black. It's just nah, those are just too showy. And it's just weird. Are the Super Game Boy borders just better than Game Boy Player? I just something about them irks me less than the Game Boy Player ones. The Game Boy Player one, actually, I really like the GameCube one. This one here. Sorry, Game Boy Advance. I think one of them is trying to be like the GameCube. There we go, that one. I think that's cool. I like the Game Boy Advance one. I like Outer Space. This one's pretty cool if you're playing something like Metroid. But I mean, aside from that, I think some of these other ones are kind of cheeky. don't know if anybody owned a Game Boy player. These things are, they just get more expensive all the time. I was very fortunate to have been still holding on to my childhood Game Boy player. Got this in 2003. This thing has proven very useful for 15 years. I never thought I would be broadcasting on YouTube. Take care of your toys, kids. You never know when something might go up in value someday. Unless it's e-reader cards. Nobody cares about e-reader. Except for me and Bradley. You think you're a hero? Yeah. Bradley says the Super Game Boy one had more customizable border. Excuse me. Super Game Boy one had more customizable borders, so I felt it had more to it. The Game Boy player gave you exactly what you asked for, and nothing more. I find that very hard to argue with. Good point. Well, something that's very useful is this timer here, because I lose track of time when playing video games very often. So that'll be there to remind me to call it quits. This is also useful too, the change game pack feature. That was not on Super Game Boy. You had to turn it off every time. They have their pros and cons. Super Game Boy, I find that thing gets really dirty. I have to clean that frequently in order to make games work. I don't have that same problem with Game Boy Player, although I always have my Game Boy Player screwed into the bottom of my GameCube, and I always have a Game Boy Advance game in there to prevent dust from getting in. So when I pull my games out of storage, I just want them to work. I just want to play them, grab my controller, press the button really quickly, and go, duh, video game. Like a normal human being. Confound it. I'm going to take out my anger on this bat here. You're not a Crobat yet. You're not useful. I think I'm going to take experience share off of Ampharos. Level 35 is, that seems like a decent cap. I want to muscle up for Alligator a little bit. Croconaw, sorry. Croconaw is not a Pokemon I think of very often. So let's give it experience share. But we're making a comeback here. A shitty comeback. Because they always lose. I actually forget where and grammar in this game. Those have never really been Pokemon I've liked a whole lot, so I've never found much incentive to go capture them. I do remember when I was playing Yellow here, when I ran into a muck when the silhouette in the wild encounter thing. I was thinking, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a muck. I think its silhouette looks creepy. Okay, Drowsy's not doing any good. I'll probably let Drowsy evolve into Hypno and then probably abandon using it. It just seems really too slow to pack any kind of a wallop. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully my microphone wasn't sounding tinny earlier. I'm not sure. I'm hoping I'm going through through the Samson and not the laptop internal microphone. Like I had a really bad habit of doing in my early days of streaming. Wheelgator's trying to learn scary face. No. Sounds like the Samson me. Hey Jing or Rocco, Tony, I don't know what to call you. We'll call you Rocco. Hey Rocco, how's it going? Good to see you here. I can't believe I forgot to send you the link in Discord. I'm gonna be doing this for another, how much time is left? 34 minutes. But I'm just doing the Pokemon Gold adventures. We're just stamping out injustices in the radio tower here. Good to see you. Very good to see you. I just think coughing needs a good punch. He is grammar. That's what Kadabra is for. Whew. Guys, I hope you did your taxes. Just throwing that out there. And if you haven't, you have some time left. But you better hurry. But he is right. Yeah. There's another Face My Rats guy. Jing, considering that you have not played the Generation 2 games, I'm curious if you have any outsider's opinion based on what I'm playing here. Because yeah, I seem to remember you only played Pokemon Generation 1, and that was just the end of the line for you. I just find it very curious, because most people who I know played Pokemon Red and Blue. Most, not all, but a lot of them moved on to Gold and Silver. Actually, I think Generation 3, at least from my memory, unless you're really hardcore into Pokemon, that seemed to be kind of a stopping point when the Generation 3 games came out. But I remember, excuse me, I remember one classmate, him and his pesky little opinion, he said that these games, and I quote him, Pokemon Gold and Silver is when Pokemon jumped the shark. And I find that baffling to me. Absolutely baffling to me. Just stop caring about the franchise after Gold and Silver. He's like, yeah. I can't wrap my head around that. Also, my poor Ampharos is poisoned, darn it. Let's see if we got any antidote. Some antidote. Let's see. It's gonna have to do. Alright, let's keep moving. Who are you? That's a really weird thing to say. Jing just says, yeah to what? Bradley says, they didn't even add a shark until Generation 3. Where are you going to jump over in Generation 2? A Chinchou? I know, right? By the way, I always thought Sharpedo was a really cool Pokemon. That's one of the earliest Generation 3 designs they showed off. I'm inclined to believe, although I can't prove it, that I think Sharpedo wasn't meant to be the evolved form of Carvanha initially. That's just one of those weird things that organically developed. I'm not as on top of Generation 6 and 7. My interest in Pokemon, I just really stopped caring around Generation 5 for a variety of reasons. If I didn't have a kid brother to play the games with, I probably would have stopped playing around Generation 3, honestly. But I will always have a soft spot for Pokemon, even though I'm not as interested in them as I was a kid, obviously. But didn't Sharpedo have a Mega Evolution eventually? I'm so out of the loop with Generation 6 and 7. I only put 30 hours into Omega Ruby. I should probably play it more. I did not touch X or Y. Mark is about to use Magnemite. Starting to deal with the Magnets. One of my neighbors has a very loud dog. Hopefully you didn't hear that. By the way, Gravity Falls is getting released on Blu-ray this summer. I'm very tempted to get it. I think it's like $80 for the whole series, but that doesn't sound like too bad of a value. And Alex Hirsch even said that the series would have features. Can you imagine? It seems like home media don't have features anymore. To quote my friend Dark Battleship, where are the goddamn DVD extras? Porygon. I don't even remember how you get Porygon in Generation 2. Ooh, Tri-Attack. Tri-Attack did nothing in Generation 1. Here, it can either burn, paralyze, or freeze. Conversion 2. Porygon is now Dragon type. That's weird. I'm just gonna throw a rock at you to prevent any kind of damage you could do with that. Wheelgator grew. Excellent, excellent. All grand plans come with snacks. That almost rhymed. Not quite. You plan to rescue the director? That won't be possible, because I'm going to beat you. No, that won't be possible, because I'm going to beat you. Better not be another Rat Patrol guy. Oh no, it's the Bat Patrol guy. All grand plans come with snacks. That sounds like that would be a good line in a 4Kids dub if we're trying to censor something. And unfortunately for this bum, Leech Life don't do any damage. I mean, it does, but it really doesn't. The weird way the battle system in Pokemon works, if an attack has to always do a minimum of 1 damage. I think there's some games like Final Fantasy or Paper Mario, if a foe's defense is high enough, an attack can do 0 damage, but an attack always has to do at least 1 damage. Minimum. And the maximums can get pretty crazy high, actually, under some absurd circumstances. But those circumstances are rare and absurd. Like in Pokemon Generation 1, there's ways to manipulate Persian to make sure that its slash attack can do like 15,000 damage or something. Which, as you may know, HP maxes out at 999, I believe, and most Pokemon do not have 900 HP in Pokemon Generation 1. They might have maybe 200 or 300 at level 100. But that's some very tricky stuff. That does not happen very often. Combination of upping your critical hit ratio and speed and all that fun stuff. Anyway, one of my Pokemon deserves a candy bar. And it'll be that Cheeky. And now we're going to face the director, except the director's not the director. Yeah, this is the right floor. You came to rescue me? Is that what you were expecting? Wrong. I'm an imposter. Oh yeah. See, the whole imposter thing, it's many layers deep. I pretend to be the real thing to... Yeah, I don't care. By the way, guys, after this fight, I will have to stop, unfortunately. I mean... I'll stop Pokemon. Maybe I might... I'll use that time left, but... This seems like a nice stopping point for Pokemon. Maybe I'll pop in Pokemon Pinball. So, it'll be Pokemon, but not the Pokemon RPG. Anyway, unfortunately, this Rocket executive, he does not get named in Soul Silver. So, once again, here, he's just a nameless wacko who wants to revive Giovanni's organization for some reason. Because Team Rocket are the bad guys, and they hadn't thought of any other bad guy teams yet. That came later. So. I think Krakenau is going to evolve. I think that's the level it evolves at, if I'm not mistaken. Let's keep it at Nessie. I like the surf animation here a lot better than the Generation 1 surf animation, but it goes on way too long. Critical hit, that coughing really felt that wave. Let me tell you. Ooh, it missed. That's not good. I couldn't imagine being tackled by that little puffball, but luckily Lapras has some bulk. That missed too, that stinks. I think it might be the side effects of smokescreen being there. You really wish the game would give you a better display of how things like evasion and speed are affecting your Pokemon, but you have to kind of mentally remember it. Like, for instance, when you're paralyzed, your speed goes down, but the game doesn't tell you that. This guy's just throwing coughings at me. I'm not intimidated. Just a little worn out. That's probably the end of Ampharos. I didn't mean to use Bite, but hopefully that's a KO. Yeah, that's a KO. Okay. Wheelgator grew into itself. Sun goes down. Level 31, excellent. The Rocket Executive is defeated. Yeah, okay. This is a nice moment to end everything on. Our little boy is all grown up. Look here, Feraligatr, Totodile, Croconaw, Feraligatr, they all look... Ooh, excuse me. A little bit more on the teal side. They would fix this coloring error in Crystal. And this guy just shows you what crappy villains Team Rocket are. He tells us where to go and gives us the key and is like, I bet you won't find out where to go. It's all very dumb. But we'll heal and we'll regroup for next time. Next time I think we fight the female executive or what have you. And our rival who stole that guy's Sneasel, I think. Bradley says, I always found this plot point stupid where he gives you the key out of arrogance. You could have beat him and he could just say, find the director yourself. Then you use clues to find him. I mean, unfortunately, I just, even the kid game logic is very silly. It reminds me, like, in Pokemon Generation 5, I think Getsis, after his whole bullshit about, I'm gonna take over the world, and N is the key, and here's the legendary dragon, but I'll let you heal your your guys. I mean, he's a bad guy who wants to take over the world, but you know, he's not really that bad of a guy. He's kind of a nice guy. Okay, so we'll go near the underground passage, but we'll save here, and the journey will have to continue on Tuesday. So what time do I have left? I got 16 minutes. If you want, I'll do Pokemon Pinball. That's okay with everybody? I think that's the direction I'm heading. Now that I'm on Game Boy Player, I got Rumble. Which is demonstrated with this very cute little animation here. That's adorable. Okay. What table should I do? Ruby or Sapphire? Come on, I don't have much time here. We have a table preference, guys. Where is the love? Yeah, I don't know if we're caught up yet. Ruby or Sapphire table, guys? Is nobody responding? Ruby or Sapphire table, come on. And where is Grant? Yeah, let's do it, Ruby. I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah, I have all the time in the world to wait. Oh, right, it's like my GameCube's a pinball machine. This feels a little bit more subtle than the Game Boy Color pinball. Rumble. There, that could be very aggressive. Alright, luckily we got a ball saver there. And my pinball's like a GameCube machine. Alright, now you're just being a postmodern philosopher trying to invert everything. You're not fooling me. I don't know how it is in other states, but I know that in Texas and in Pennsylvania, pinball machines are essentially classified as gambling machines, and they need to be approved by some kind of association. There are some pinball machines that I would, if I became an eccentric playboy billionaire, I'd love to get my little hands on. Like, on top of my head, Star Trek: The Next Generation pinball, Indiana Jones. I think the one based off of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Twilight Zone pinball is badass. That's an amazing machine. South Park, Terrence and Philip bonus stage. I'm serious. Kenny's a nice big prop on the table. Kiss. I wonder if there was a Rocky pinball machine. There was in the movie. I don't remember if they actually made one for Rocky. I know that Metallica has one. So does Kiss. There's a time where you know you made it if you had a pinball machine, but they just don't really exist anymore. Which is just kind of a bummer. I mean, the last really big pinball machine I remember coming out is the Iron Man pinball machine when the movie came out. That one's pretty neat. Family Guy has one, you're right. I've never played it myself, but Family Guy does have one. Sometime if I do a Wii stream, I will probably, on the subject of pinball, I will probably stream Devil's Crush or Alien Crush. Because Devil's Crush is a pretty widely acclaimed pinball game for TurboGrafx. And I nabbed that off of Virtual Console before you weren't able to add any more points. There's some games I really would have liked to have got, but I just, there's only so much money in the world. You just gotta hope that Nintendo re-releases them someday, or whoever distributes that, and that people backed up all those all those data and what have you. Somebody in a group I'm in said that I'm an idiot for buying the games because he had all the WAD files, but the hell with him. Bradley says the Mortal Kombat creators started off as pinball machine creators. Yes, Williams. Williams is one of the best pinball machine makers. They made the Indiana Jones pinball game. So they had some cool ones. The guy who voiced Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 voiced Black Knight in Black Knight Pinball. Yeah, I don't remember how the acquisition business went on, but Williams, Midway, Bally, and Atari Games, which is not the same thing as Atari, the Atari 2600 division. Their arcade division actually became a separate entity, all its own, Atari Games. Midway, Atari Games, Williams, they all eventually became acquired under the same general umbrella. Warner Brothers Interactive, whenever they re-released those games, they collected under as Midway. Midway is essentially a brand name used for all those classics when they get re-released. I think Williams Electronics might exist in some capacity, if I'm not mistaken, but they're not a game maker anymore. I haven't checked on that in a while. Midway doesn't exist anymore. Atari Games got absorbed. Nah. Atari Games got absorbed into Midway. Trying to think of games made by Atari Games. There's this one arcade game called Hard Drivin'. That game is it's very, very hard. One of the earliest arcade games that I can think of that featured polygon graphics. I might have recorded some footage for you, Bradley, of that. That game is very hard. I don't think it's very fun. But I guess it's notable for that. That's collected in Midway Arcade Treasures, Volume 2, of course. Which is a decent collection. It has a few share of issues, but it's decent for what it is. Let's see, 4 minutes left. See what I can accomplish in 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of my favorite. Ooh, this bonus stage is a little tricky to get to. Some of my favorite makers of arcade games. I mean, Capcom, obviously. A lot of Konami's arcade games were very good. Not all of them. I think Konami's arcade games weren't too great in the early 80s, but by the end of the early 80s, they became substantially better. Taitao is definitely up there. They made a lot of excellent arcade classics. Okay, I'm supposed to get that feel up there. Namco's great too. Namco is really one of the few companies that I mean, they actually seem to do that. Them and I guess Sega to some extent. Guys, if there are any Sega fans out there, I hope you can take what I'm about to say with some perspective. I don't know how Sega is still in business. I like Sega. They just, I don't know how they're still surviving. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna pass this. Do I get do I get points for that? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that the trick here is to get this feels here. This is a secret bonus stage, in that it appears. Nah, this is dumb. This only appears under certain circumstances. It's not like the Ghastly or the Duskull or whatever, where you get one for every 3 Pokemon you catch. I forget how you trigger that exactly, but that one is a secret. Upgrade. Ketchum mode. Like Ash Ketchum. Okay, I thought it was a Voltorb, but it looks like it's a Lunatone, actually. And there's the shark for us to jump over. Damn it, just that tilting, man. Oh, it is a Voltorb, okay. I honestly thought it was a Lunatone. Time has expired. You know, the hell with that. I'll play till I lose. Damn it. Good thing I have the Ball Saber. If you're just tuning in, the Pokemon Gold journey, it's on a break. This is the after show. And I still have 2 lives left. Dun, 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 dun. Go to bonus. So the trick here is to get the Devon Scope, hit the Kecleon, and then you win. But you have to hit it like 20 times or something like that. If anybody remembers, there's a excuse me. There's a Goosebumps book called "Let's Get Invisible." And that's what I'm thinking of right now. Let's get invisible. Really don't know how many more hits I have left. I see you. Ah, come on. Okay. That that worked out surprisingly well. I quite literally dropped the ball, but Kecleon concedes defeat. I'm correct. Kecleon appeared in the Pokemon anime before it appeared in the games. There's a nice little preview about a year before it came out, if I'm correct. These episodes are called the Kecleon Caper. At least the dub version. The original Japanese version, the title is probably like 3 sentences long. 3 paragraphs long. It's a little Whismur. The eggs that hatch, the Pokemon that come out of the eggs, they only need to be hit twice in order to be captured. As opposed to the 3 times from the ones that generate from Ketchum mode. So I'm assuming that the Aerodactyl just steals somebody's egg and puts it there. Oh man, there's a moral quandary for you. But why would Whismur come out of an egg? Because it looks like a mammal. It's one of those biology problems with Pokemon. Even the mammalian Pokemon come out of eggs. It doesn't make sense. And I get a big bonus. It's either that or fight Groudon. And the market should be open for Evo mode. Evo, A Search for Eden. That's a game I would like to review sometime. I've had some serious issues attempting to review that game. One is that script has gone through many drafts. That's part of it. The other thing is I don't own it, and the people I know who own it are very far away from me. That is a very rare and expensive game. I feel really weird for just trying to borrow that and what have you. Got ourselves a great ball. No, it's an ultra ball. That's very fortunate. Okay, that was close. Now we got ourselves a Master Ball. Excellent. Now what have we got here? 60-second ball saver, alright. I guess the field multiplier is 11. That's pretty crazy. Alright, let's, what do you many coins we got here? I'll just leave it alone. Oh, I need to go through one more time to do evolution. Alright. Luckily we got that saber. That was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Uh-oh, I downgraded. Okay, now the Pokemart's open for evolution. Okay, guys, who do you want to see me try to evolve in the Mart with evolution? Oh wait, we got Ketchum mode here. Riley says camera if it maxes out at 99. Does that apply to the original Pokemon Pinball or this one? I really don't remember. I think the highest I've ever seen it gone to is 17. But that's anecdotal evidence. And it's another main trick. Alright, downgrade one more stage. Both. Okay. I still think it's somewhat high. 13, now it's 14. Cool. Something I've learned recently is that Mew is in Pokemon Pinball, but trying to encounter it is, I'm talking about the original one, is hilariously unlikely. And you can't even really catch it. No. Oh, man. Ah. Oh, well. I still think the evolution thing will be open. Evolution. Okay, who should I evolve? Electrike, Zubat, Voltorb, or Whismur. But this time, actually... Electrike, Zubat, Voltorb, or Whismur. It's the lack of responses. Okay. I'll go with Voltorb. Actually, no. Go with Zubat because Bradley had said something about 3-stage evolutions and what have you. So we'll do that. The hell is it with you guys not making choices? Voltorb. Voltorb. You're saying that to be contrary now, aren't you? I don't know if it's the delay or what, but... You guys don't have Rolls Royce and you don't have a choice. That's the way I say it. But it really doesn't matter. It's just a silly video game. I wonder how the Wii U version of this game compares. It would be cool to get a Crobat. Try not to get attached to my save files, and that's what you guys do to me. Maybe I should make that a goal. Groudon bonus stage. I remember this one being pretty tricky. Oh, man. Yeah, Bradley, I'm sorry about that. I don't know if that was broadcast delay or bad communication, but yeah, I ultimately went with Zubat because in the past you had said that you like seeing the 3-stage ones. I think this is going pretty well. Then my ball gets flamed. By the way, I'm not going to be using anything from this broadcast for a video review or a Mr. Top 10 list video because the frame rate's just looking really choppy. I think it just looks unacceptably slideshow bad. I'm okay with doing this for a broadcast because this is just about playing video games and hanging out essentially, but I don't know. This doesn't meet my quality standards. Come on. I swear that Fire Blast is homing. Alright, let's shoot it up, shoot it up, shoot it up. Come on. Let's get one more hit in there. Okay. It gets tense. Running out of time here. There we go. Man. those time limits, man. Damn. Alright. I think when I get back to the main field, that's going to be it for me. I think that's a pretty satisfying note to end things on. Crappy frame rate aside. I'm okay with that. No. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Next stream will hopefully be Tuesday, 7:45 Houston time. I'll continue the Pokemon Gold Adventures Underground. Just that's just a stopping point for me there. But hopefully you enjoyed that, and the after show. I'll try and see why we're having some bottlenecking issues here. All right. I'll see you.